everyone, today I am doing a sponsored video with Nordstrom, specifically on beauty. And if you want to see how I came up with this sort of luxurious night out, date night, girls night, whatever, it's a little more suited for evening look, then keep on watching. Grab some coffee because I get pretty chatty in this one, and I'll see you in a second with no makeup on and my hair up. Now let's pretend it is not first thing in the morning and we are getting ready for a little night out. Could be with the girls, could be with someone you love, who knows, but I'm gonna tell you something I do love. Okay, that was so cheesy, but whatever. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. You've seen me use this quite a few times. There are a number of ways of applying it. I personally enjoy applying it just in a big fat streak across my face, almost like as a primer. It's really not a primer. It actually has a little bit of coverage to it. I think I showed you that in a video before. And then I kind of blend it in with a foundation brush or beauty blender. In this case, I did pick this up. I wanted some new brushes, and this is the Luxie Complete Face Set. So I literally just pulled the plastic off, and I think I'm going to use this guy. This is the Pro Precision Face, and I'm just gonna work that in. I think it does add coverage. It adds a little bit of glow. I really wish it were in some sort of pump or squeezy tube. I love a lot of foundations. We all know this. I had one particular favorite. The finish was so beautiful. I think my skin never looked better until I was one of the very few people in the world who had a horrible allergic reaction to it. And I have been trying to find a dupe for it for a really long time. So if you are one of the 99.999% of the population who doesn't have skin allergies to the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, the most beautiful foundation I've ever used in my life. It looks good on everyone, oily, dry, normal, combo. It's this luminosity without looking oily. It's just beautiful. And I found a few things that were close, but nothing that I was like, oh, this is it. Anyway, so a lot of you have been asking me since I started playing with Charlotte Tilbury to try her Magic Foundation, and I don't know why I have waited this long to try it, but I bit the bullet and I went online because Charlotte Tilbury is not sold in my Nordstrom store, so I ordered this stuff online. And the shade chart is really helpful because it has swatches and then it also has pictures of people that are wearing the different shades. So I looked through and I matched myself up with shade 2. Bang on, perfect match. So don't be like me and assume that you twist this off. No, comes with a pump. Thank you, Charlotte. A little goes a long way. It does have SPF in it, so you can use Beauty Blender. I'm gonna try this guy again. If you want a little less coverage, then definitely use the Beauty Blender. This gives amazing coverage, and it's, to me, very similar to the Armani. I think I found my dupe. Okay, that was maybe 1.5 pumps, and no concealer or anything. The coverage is beautiful, but it's not cakey. It's not magic for real, but it's pretty close. It's kind of amazing. I think I found my new favorite foundation. As you know, I have the 1-2 punch, so to speak, under my eyes. First with the MAC Prep and Prime Highlighter in Radiant Rose, and I just concentrated mostly on this inner part. I'm almost done. I did just order another backup just in case. Those are the things that I cannot be without this product. I just can't. Like last night I had a meeting at 7. I'd already been up since 4:30. So the makeup was looking a little tired by then and just around the eyes. And so just to freshen up, I just popped another layer of the Prep and Prime over my under eyes area, and I immediately looked awake, even though I really didn't feel like I was. Now, under my eyes, I've been looking through my drawers and kind of shopping my stash, and I found a concealer I kind of forgot about, and it's pretty awesome, and I have it in 3 shades, actually. It's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, and I am going to use the shade Extra Light under my eyes. and then use a different shade just on the few areas of healing blemishes. And to blend that in, I am going to use my Beauty Blender. I am also going to bring it across the eye, kind of as an eyelid primer, and then on the few blemishes that we have, thank you hormones, I'm using the shade Light. And I'm going to blend that in very lightly with my Beauty Blender. Okay, now we set. Now I have dry skin, so I've talked about this a little bit, but just to remind you, I set not because I'm worried about getting greasy or oily, but because one, I do get sweaty. So I'm setting my under eyes with this Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I'm actually gonna sweep it over the whole area. This also helps with sunglasses when they sit on your, the bridge of your nose and stuff, so they don't leave dents. This also helps your under eye concealer for not creasing. But in the case of my whole face, the reason I set with powder is so that the powder products that I put on next don't stick to the foundation. Particularly because I am dry, I feel like it would cling to any dry patches if there's no powder. So of course, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder Shade 1. This is my second one, and I'm about to order number 3. It's really that good. The only negative is because it is finely milled, which is a good thing. But because it's so finely milled, it doesn't really travel well. I have not personally had mine shatter, but I have heard others have. So this would not be one that I would recommend throwing in your bag. Also, if you have a stubborn blemish that concealer just won't cling to, put a little powder on your finger and just cover that sucker up. Now onto bronzer. I've just been using, this comes in different shades. I'm obviously using the lightest option. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow in the shade Fair Medium. They also make one that has, instead of the highlighter in it, it has the blush in it. But I love this. And this holds up to travel quite well and doesn't seem to run out. It's like this one, it should be called the Magic Bronzer because I've had it for a really long time. I've used it constantly, and it's like it just magically replenishes overnight. I have not hit pan on either side. Now I'm using this brush from the little set I just picked up, and this one is called the Tapered Highlighter. So dipping it into the highlighter, and it's just so easy. I like easy, I like foolproof. I can build this up and add as much or as little as I want. I have been on YouTube for 8 years. I have heard people raving about this blush at least 9 because I've been watching it that long, and I've never picked this up for myself. So finally, I was looking for a blush. I wanted something new. It's been a while since I picked up a new blush, and I thought, why not get a classic? So I grabbed the MAC blush in Margin. It's stunning. And I am going to use another brush. I'm going to use the Round Top Blender. I'm just going to dot that on and blend it out. It has a nice little sheen to it, but it's almost, it's not a bronzer, but it's just like a flush to the cheeks without an actual looking like, oh, look, she's wearing blush. Okay, the face is done, so let's zoom in and tackle eyes. So first things first, I'm gonna quickly draw on my eyebrows with my Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil and then put them in place with my Lancome Brow Styler, and then let's get on with the fun part. Okay, brows are on. Now, the look I'm gonna show you, you can start, well, you know what, let's just show you. I don't know why I haven't tried these sooner, but this is the Eyes to Mesmerize. It's a cream shadow, and I have it in the shade Marie Antoinette, and it looks like that. Very emollient, I would say, cream shadow. It's so creamy and soft, so really a light hand. I would recommend using some sort of concealer brush or flat synthetic brush for this. This is from one of the Urban Decay palettes, actually. I'm using the flat end, and just the tiniest bit. It's like nothing on my brush here. And I'm just literally kind of dabbing and painting it across the lid and bringing it up all the way to the socket line, and then with the fluffy end of this, kind of fluffing it out. It blends so beautifully. This particular color is just the perfect warm bronzy taupe. And I personally prefer a warmer taupe. I know that's sort of an oxymoron, but, and a lot, see, I used too much there. A lot of these cream shadows on me tend to pull to the cool side, and this is really more, I don't know if it's warm so much as just neutral. It's perfect. I love it. I've been wearing it by itself, which is what I'm showing you right now, but you know that I'm not gonna just stop there. I'm gonna pile on more. I'm also gonna take a little bit and run it under my eyes. So if you didn't want to be all extra, you could throw on some liner, curl your lashes, add mascara and lips, and this could be even pretty enough for date night or, you know, a night on the town, but we're not gonna stop there. So yet another Charlotte Tilbury product. This is the Golden Goddess palette. You've seen me play with this before. It's just fun. So what I'm gonna do is, this minky taupe color actually comes out much more warmer and kind of more of a matte on me. So I am going to use one of the eye brushes from that set. Does it have a name? It is the Tapered Blending Brush. I like it when they give it a name that fits. So I'm just going to use that to kind of define the crease and pull it into the outer corner a little bit. I'm also going to take this flat brush from the set, the flat definer. Love that. When it's just named what it's supposed to do, and I'm going to run that under my eyes as well. Now, I don't normally like a brow bone highlight that has a sheen to it, but for evening, that's fine. And so I'm going to use this lightest shade on the top left corner, and just with a fluffy brush, kind of add a little to the top and actually use it to sort of blend out the ends as well. It's not a really metallic finish. It's more of a satin, so it's still pretty subtle as far as highlights go. You could leave it, of course, like this, but because let's pretend we're going out tonight, I'm gonna use this more glittery shade, and this is really meant just to be put on the finger and pressed onto the lid, to just add the tiniest bit of shimmer, more shimmer, I should say. And actually, I'm gonna take the highlighter and I'm gonna add a little bit more to the inner corner of my eye just to make it pop. All right, let's curl lashes and then throw on some eyeliner and mascara. For eyeliner, I'm gonna use a shade that's brown black. You could definitely use black, but I like brown more, so this is a nice compromise. And I'm not doing anything fancy, just running it along the lower lash line. I actually want to soften that line a little bit, so with that flat definer brush, I'm going into the darkest shade in the palette, which is this kind of dark brown. It's not too dark, but it's a nice rich brown, and I'm just kind of stamping that over and wiggling it right over the liner. This brush makes it so easy. I did pick up a new mascara. I've used this before, I've loved it, I've played around with some others, and really what I love about this, it's the Chanel Volume de Chanel, or Le Volume. It's the Chanel mascara in black. Straight from the tube, the minute you open it, it's great. And it continues to stay great. And it makes my lashes look long and thick and black. Ticks all my boxes. So I'm gonna do my lower lashes first. You tick your head down like that so that it lifts the lashes away from your skin. That's not a good look for me. And then you do the upper lashes like that. Again, it lowers the lashes away from your lid so you don't get mascara on your eyelids. So let me take care of that. I'll be right back. So hair is down, earrings are in, everything's done except the lips. So I'm just using what I love. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I don't always use a lip liner, but the lipstick or lip product that I want to use does work best if I have an outline to follow. So first I'm going to line my lips with Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk. Let me just do that quickly. So I have been looking for like a brighter rose kind of shade, and I'm a really big fan of a Glossy Lip Stain It's not one that dries matte and makes your lips feel tight and miserable, but one that has gloss to it and you can put on and not have to worry about it for a while. And this one from Dior is one I actually owned before and lost. I have no idea where it is. So I repurchased it. So this is, I will put it in the description box because the writing is really tiny, but it is from Dior and the shade is Pretty. And it is pretty. So the key with these lip stains, this is very similar to the YSL Glossy Lip Stain, which is something else I'm a huge fan of, is you have to put on a couple of coats. Don't be put off by the first shade, the first layer. So this is the first layer, which is actually pretty good color payoff, but I'm gonna add one more shade, one more layer. I love how this looks. I like it as a nice alternative to red. It's fairly bright, but it's not overpowering, and it's more pink than red, so it's a lot more wearable. On camera, it's actually coming off much brighter than it really is in person. It does dry down. It feels nice on the lips. I love this. There's other shades in this collection that are, you know, more neutral if this is not your thing, but this is the finished look. Let me take a quick picture of the full outfit so you see the final look. It's fun. It's comfortable. It's a little sassy with this leopard print, but you know, it's wearable in a variety of situations and it's pretty comfortable. And I have to say these jeans have a little, they have a little panel to suck in your tummy, so you can even have a nice meal with it and not worry about too much there. So there you have it, the full look with a bunch of new products and a few old favorites and some classics as well that have had a long life here on YouTube. So let me know what you think of this look. If you want to see me do some more of these date night appropriate looks. This actual makeup look, you know, if you swap out the lipstick and maybe tame it down a little bit, this is nice for wearable for any kind of event, daytime or nighttime. I think it's pretty versatile. As always, thank you to Nordstrom for this opportunity, and thank you to all of you for continuing to watch and making these opportunities a reality. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.